I think Mike's doing a great job. The games have been on the road, and they're when they had some turnover problems and had some bad things happen early in ball games. But you watch them now. They played great at Tech, and then they've come back and they've played well at home all year. The game you go back to is Oklahoma State. That was an even ball game in College Station right down to the end. But I think Mike's doing a great job.
Mack, you expand on that a little. They've been very Jekyll and Hyde, and at least 5, 10, 2 weeks ago, and back and convinced them this week. Can you just talk about how different they look on a week?
Yeah, which is the good one, Jekyll or Hyde? Who? I never understood that. Which is Jekyll a good one? They'll be Jekyll Thursday night. We won't see Hyde. Hyde goes away. I guess I should have known by Hyde that it goes away. But they're talented. They've got tremendous skill. And they're getting better as a football team each week. And I think it showed the way they dominated Baylor last week. The thing they can do is they can run it and beat you, or they can pass it. And when you've got the balance, that gives them a chance each week.
Can we just talk about some of the unique things maybe that they do at Cottonville that when you first went in, you kind of like, what is it?
No, I'm not going to talk about those. I'm not going to go there. I will say that I really admire them because they have so much pride. When Sally and I got to Texas, what we learned about Texans is they love their state, and they're really proud of what they have. And that's something that not every state has. We also learned that they care about their families, and that Texans are tremendous parents, and they love their kids. And I've never seen kids hang out with parents as much as I have since I've been in this state. It's just an amazing thing for us. We've never seen a state flag out as much as we see the Texas state flag. It's a tremendous thing. At the University of Texas, we have a lot of traditions that we love. Some people would think sticking 2 fingers up is a little strange instead of saying hello. I mean, everywhere we go, you don't say hello anymore. And I used to do the other and say, okay, hey, how's it going? Is everything okay? And I can't do that anymore. I lose my thumbs. But same thing for A&M. The traditions at these 2 universities are really important. They're very prideful, and I give both universities credit. Not being from the state of Texas, there's a lot of universities in the country that wish they had the pride of these 2 schools, and that's what makes the game so special on Saturday night. And I think it's also a chance. Not only will we showcase high school football in the state of Texas Thursday night, we'll showcase these 2 institutions and universities, and the difference in even other rivalries that you have. This one has great respect for each other. They pick at each other. They make fun of each other. There'll be a lot of burnt orange mixed in the stands and in the Aggie section, and it's because they're married to each other and they have kids that have gone to different schools, and so it's a fun week, and it's a week where I've learned that people pull together and they pick at each other, but it's still about the state of Texas.
Mack, with the BCS setup, and we can talk ad nauseam about that, but after OU, you put yourself in a position where it's almost as if it's a playoff every week, so that the notion of stumbling or looking ahead or coming out flat almost can't be a factor.
No, we do feel like that at that time there's been a tremendous amount of pressure on this team from the first game. Very much like 2005, and for whatever reason, it might have been me, but until OU, we didn't handle it very well. I didn't think we were beating people and we were winning by big scores, but we just weren't playing like we were having fun. I'd see, and I've talked to Urban Meyer about this some. You get in the dressing room after the game, and it's like, whew, I'd got another one. There's another win down, and gosh, I'm glad nobody got hurt. What about next week? I mean, instead of having some fun, and that's another reason I got to enjoy seeing them have some fun on Saturday night. But since the second half of OU, they've turned it loose and really enjoyed this the whole time. They're relaxed. They're having fun. This morning's practice was unbelievable with the spirit. I thought maybe coming right back after Saturday night that it would be tight. We did ask how many of them wanted to play in the NFL, and of course all their hands go up, and I said, well, the Cowboys played Sunday afternoon, and they got to play before you Thursday, so if you want to play in the NFL, don't talk about short weeks. I don't want to hear it. But I really think that now they get the deal, and I think this bunch matured last year, Roger, when they saw what happened. When we didn't play as well as we needed to at Tech, we lost control of our destiny, and the system does crazy things, and we're sitting around a couple of these years trying to figure out what the Colorado-Nebraska game or the Kansas-Missouri game means to us. And that's more difficult when you're sitting there hoping somebody that you don't have a dog in that fight and you're hoping one of those teams wins. And somebody told me a late second field goal by Nebraska that beat Colorado might have knocked us out last year. I can't even figure out who to pull for anymore when we get there. So you'd rather just win.
Coach, we know that things will change logistically, but what changes emotionally in the way you communicate with your team on a short week?
Nothing. Everything's quicker. We tell them to get in bed. We tell them that we're going in the morning practice for a reason. We want to get you further away from game day so you can rest more from Wednesday morning to Thursday night. That's really the change, and they have Monday afternoon classes, so we couldn't have practiced Monday anyway. And we also feel like that our coaches work on this game plan year-round. I mean, that was not much of a change, and the same staff was there last year that's this year, and we had all the films broken down. So it's probably a bigger change for the coaches because you don't get Monday, you don't get really Monday and Friday. So you have to do all your stuff. So they were over here really early yesterday morning and over here really late last night, and then got back this morning over here at 4:30 or 5. So it's probably a bigger change for them than the players. I think the players will like it because they, a day off rests their bodies and minds. But for a game like this, they're excited, and they will have Thanksgiving at home. So they'll actually be at home Friday and Saturday and come back Sunday afternoon to get ready for the championship game. So if we were playing Saturday, they would have absolutely no Thanksgiving. So I think they'll like it more than the coaches.
Coach, have you got a chance to see TCU play this year? Your impressions of their football team?
Well, I have not, but I've watched. I know Gary very well, and I really like him as a friend and respect him as a coach. I think he's as good a football coach as there is in the country out there right now. And when we played them 2-3 years ago, they were really good. And watching them last year, they were really good. So they can run. They're going to play great defense. They're going to be able to put pressure on the passer, and they'll be really balanced on offense. They'll always run the ball good, and they'll do a great job with play action to get it deep, and Gary's excellent in the kicking game. So I think TCU ought to pay him a whole bunch of money to make sure he stays. I think he's as good as anybody in the country.
Follow-up, what players talked to the team last night? What former players?
Aaron Humphrey came in. The coaches don't get to go.
Right.
We're not invited, so the trainer has set up Aggie supper for 117 years, and they don't tell us what's said. They keep it to themselves. So we actually sat over and we had our meal brought in. The players went over to eat their meal, and we sat there and watched film and broke it down, and then met with them when they got through.
And Aaron Humphrey was there, just Aaron? Or?
I think that's all I was told.
Okay.
You might get more out of them than us, but we really don't ask for that reason.
Okay.
Ex-players have said this is a players thing. Coaches shouldn't be involved with it, and the trainer sets it up with the ex-players, and so we stay out of it.
Mack, you keep talking about after the second half, second half of you. Was there something said at the half that calmed everybody down and relaxed everybody in that game?
No, that game's so huge around here because in the past few years, the team that has won that game is the one that has a chance in the end here and has a chance for some really big stuff. So I think that's kind of the way we split it into 3 seasons. The A&M game's the last of our third 4-game season. But really and truly, our season's kind of set up before OU and after OU because it kind of restarts everything because both teams have been on the national scene so much. And I do think when you get that one behind you, and we were holding things for that game, and the kids knew it, and we knew it. And so I just think it was kind of like a rebirth, restart of the season. And since then, they've had fun. They've relaxed and played well.
Mack, having coached in this rival game for so many years now, do you see it as any easier to motivate the guys this week? Do they motivate themselves because they played against a lot of these guys?
This is a game where they know each other, and one of the problems you have this week is they text each other and they talk to each other all the time, and it's funny, more than any other team we play, they've got more buddies on the A&M team than any of the others, so they pick at each other just like family members. And so what you have to do is be really careful that it doesn't get chippy during the week. And then they're picking at each other. I remember, I think we got a penalty one year over there because Lewis ran the ball and they didn't make a first down or something. Vince was coming out and slapped him on the helmet. And it was his teammate from high school, and he was picking at him. And they threw a flag on Vince. And Vince says, "Coach, I was saying, hey, big boy, you didn't make it." I wasn't saying anything rude to him. We're best friends. We hang out after the games.